What's up, guys? I'm here to give you my quick review of NXT TakeOver Chicago. Overall, this was a very enjoyable show. I saw this at a buddy's house last night, and we both thought it was a good show. So I'm going to give you a rundown of the card and my thoughts on every match. This won't be a detailed review. Watch the show and give your own detailed review. I'm just going to give you just brief thoughts on everything. So, kick it off. Opening match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong of Undisputed Era defeat Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Good opener. Really, really good opener. I like the chemistry between these two teams. They had a really good sequence when they did like that a brawl for all type of thing, where all four men were in the ring just beating the shit out of each other. You know, the match has some good spots in it. Lorcan and Burch, they looked really, really strong in this match, and I would like to see what could be done with Lorcan and Burch going forward. Potentially, hopefully, Burch and Lorcan can be Oney and Burch can potentially become tag team champions down the road. But O'Reilly and Strong winning, I think it was needed. I would not have been upset if Lorcan and Burch won, but I think at this time you want to establish, you know, the Undisputed Era as your top faction, your top heel faction. So they need to be. You just got to keep feeding them babyface team after babyface team after babyface team till they get to the War Raiders, which looks like the direction they're going in Brooklyn. But overall, really good opening match. Crowd was red hot for the Undisputed Era, and they were kind of like up and down with Lorcan and Burch. But overall, it created a good atmosphere, a very fun atmosphere for this tag team match. So yeah, no complaints there. Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream. Ricochet pulls out the victory, and I'm of two sides of this. I understand that Ricochet is pretty much being primed as the next guy of NXT. Kind of looks like that. However, I think Dream kind of needed a win. And Dream's last couple of takeovers, he hasn't really been winning his matches, and he's starting to fall into the slum of the guy that puts over everyone else, which is not. It's not something you want. It's not something that Dream should be saddled with. He should have won this match. Ricochet did not need to win this thing. Dream needed to win it. But with that being said, it was a good match. I liked it a lot. I think I was a little bit disappointed with it. I kind of was expecting a little bit more, but given the story that this thing was trying to tell, it worked for what it was, and I overall enjoyed it. You know, Ricochet looked great. Dream kept up. To me, in my opinion, Dream kept up with him, and they gelled pretty good. But the spotlight of this match has to be the Velveteen Dream's Hulk Hogan style entrance. I thought that was awesome, and maybe an indicator that the Hulkster is going to come back, brother, which I hope he does, because I like Hulk Hogan. And you know, shit happens. Everyone's a little bit racist. Why should we condemn Hogan? But why don't you condemn everyone else in the wrestling business, because they're also racist? So your argument about Hogan being a racist is invalid. It means absolutely nothing when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, enough of that shit. Again, Ricochet and Dream was a good match. I enjoyed it a lot. Shayna Baszler defends the NXT Women's Championship against Nikki Cross. I'm actually starting to come over on Shayna Baszler. I like NXT is booking their women's division like it means something. Unlike the main roster where it's fucking worthless. In NXT, they're presenting these women to actually look credible. And Shayna Baszler is being booked as a bully, but she's not. But it's not the way. But it's not that Mean Girls crap that Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax was doing. Shayna Baszler is pretty much a bully who is throwing her weight around, pretty much saying, "Listen, I'm the top of the dog. I'm the top dog. You come after me, I'm gonna knock your ass out and choke your ass down and break your arms, break your legs." She's the bully you want to hate and can't wait to finally see get taken down. That part of her character I really, really like. Her ring skills, nothing to be desirable. She's still learning, but she comes across to me as convincing. Now, and everyone wants to blow smoke up Ronda Rousey's ass. Personally speaking, I think wrestler-wise and character-wise, Shayna Baszler is light years ahead of Ronda Rousey, who can't stop smiling like a fucking goofball. When I see Shayna Baszler, I see a female Ken Shamrock, and that's the best description I can give someone. I can give Shayna Baszler, a female Ken Shamrock. So yeah, I'm starting to consider myself a fan of Baszler right now, and I hope she continues to improve because she's really clicking for me. But the overall match itself is really good. I like Nikki Cross. I like the whole wild woman gimmick she's got going. These two had a really fun brawl, and I like the ending. You know, the ending, you just have Baszler choke out Cross. Cross didn't tap out. She passed out. So you left it open to continue this thing. Because, you know, technically Baszler won, but she didn't. But Nikki Cross kept fighting until she ran out of breath. So, yeah, you can easily stretch this stuff for like maybe another 1 or 2 matches. Good ending. NXT title, Aleister Black versus Lars Sullivan. I like Aleister Black. I like Lars Sullivan. To me, this match was in the place it needed to be. Was this match bad? No, it wasn't. Was this match good? Yes, it was. Anything special? No. I think it was solid. There was one moment in the match near the end where Aleister Black completely missed a black mass and it looked like crap. But he managed to rescue that little botch. And I like the whole ending sequence where Black pretty much hit Lars with a black mass, and Lars pretty much shook it off like it didn't faze him. And then he gave him another black mass, which got him directly in the mouth, and it looked like it knocked him out, which I thought was a pretty cool little ending to the match. But overall, the match itself, you know, it was basic for what it was. These two, you know, they did okay together. I think this match to me was really thrown together at the last minute just to have an NXT title match. But for what it was decent. Main event worthy? Absolutely not. Because the Chicago street fight between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano was wild. What a brawl. Was this as good as their match in New Orleans? No. But was this match awesome to watch in its own right? Absolutely. These two guys beat the living shit out of one another. It was fantastic. And it's also refreshing to see a street fight that actually leaves the fucking ring for once. You had these two guys fighting in the crowd, and it was wild to see. You had a little ECW moment where a fan handed Ciampa a sign. Ciampa tried to rip it open. He couldn't do it. Then Johnny got the sign. He hit Ciampa with it. Then he ripped it apart. There was a stop sign. So yeah, you had like a little of those ECW isms thrown in this thing. You had a lot of wicked spots. There was this one spot where like Tommaso Ciampa gave Gargano a kryptonite crunch onto like a steel steps at ringside, and it looked brutal. And there was this one spot where they did like a little recreation of Tommaso's attack from Gargano last year in Chicago, where you had Gargano who just fucking obliterated Ciampa, threw him off a thing. He went through some tables, and then you got Gargano just sitting down watching the medics attend to him, like harkening back to what happened last year when Ciampa did the same thing to Gargano, just sitting down and just watching these medics just like tend to him. It was a good little continuity there, and you gotta like those little attentions to details. It just makes a few so much more. It makes a story like this that much more, you know, personal, that much more intriguing and engaging. And of course, this feud is playing out like one of the greatest movies you'll ever see in your life. And this is just part 2 of that movie. I can't wait for part 3. But the ending was great. You know, you had Gargano who, you know, handcuffing Ciampa and just completely obliterating him, and then you know Gargano, who's full of confidence, did, you know, underestimated Ciampa, who in handcuffs gave him a DDT on the exposed ring. Yes, they exposed the ring. You see the blood and everything. Gargano went head first, 1, 2, 3. Ciampa gets the win, but it comes across more as Ciampa just barely surviving this thing. You know, the heel got his ass kicked and barely walked out of it alive. So yes, it clearly leaves it open for more, and I can't wait. So yeah, overall NXT Chicago was a good show. Was it as good as New Orleans? Absolutely not. Can you sit down, watch this thing, and enjoy it all the way through? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I've yet to see a bad NXT show. This will not go as down one of the greatest ones, but it'll go down as one that you can watch and be like, you know what? I've had more fun watching this show, and I'm glad I did, because I know that the Money in the Bank show is going to be pretty bad. Well, anyway, those are my thoughts on NXT TakeOver Chicago. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Catch you all next time for more. Later.